Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
Alright. Question one.
I did that yesterday. Oh my, high five.
Be very serious. If we get and you guys believe it, it'll be a very hard rest of the year. Get yourself straight.
Yeah, last off.
Alright, question one. Thinking about the notes from the last class period. And what are the big three factors that determine whether a country's population grows or shrinks? And number one. Number two, when calculating the natural increase rate, NIR, we use the formula CVR minus CVR divided by 10. Why are the parentheses around CVR minus CVR so important for your calculation? Okay, if a country, and this is part two, the question two, if a country has a CVR of 20 and a CVR of 10, what happens if you forget the parentheses in your calculator? That is a challenging question. Okay, I want you guys to answer all parts of that round. All right, that one is a very important question. Number three, according to your notes, the population growth rate includes live births and one other major factor that the natural increase rate ignores. Okay, what is that factor? And why might it be important when looking at the population of a country like the United States, specifically the United States? We have talked about these concepts already last class period, and why these things are very, very, very important for country growth. Okay, today we'll follow up on these questions after the warm up. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to answer these questions in complete sentences. Please go and do me a favor. Give me a great warm up. Come on.
I got you, dude.
Sometimes I'm more relaxed. Today I'm not going to.
I can't find it.
All right, it's in today's folder. All right now. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys about a 5 minute timer. And this one will require you guys to do some
Yep.
in your notes on your desk, right? Ali, all they has is his desk. Right, we got Jackson with his desk. You gonna get your desk, right? So if you were not here, then go ahead and do that every time. I'll give you the-
Like, what if you don't know where it disappeared to?
We'll find it.
So, like, what if someone's order or what?
Yes. Yeah, like that. No, I'm better.
You did it with those last time.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, I'm good.
I've had one first time.
It disappeared.
Yes.
I wasn't here. Should I have
Yeah,
on?
can we start?
Like on my iPad?
See, that's where you cross the bar.
He detected it, right? To do the.
It's on my iPad. Rob, what do you? Oh, okay.
You can follow if you did anything.
Go back there. Start mine.
Yeah.
Please.
Door over there.
That's right.
Give you a seat, but yeah, you sorry. Two things. One, the news and something like that when they're
Yeah. Probably pretty cool.
one. Look for the activities today. Just go ahead and try your best.
Yeah, I did this.
It hurt me too. Okay. How's he looking? Let's see.
Thanks.
Bro, Mr. Gilbert, mine somehow disappeared.
Haha.
It's like,
You have to redo it.
No, actually,
Yo. Test the mic.
Wait, this one have to look like. Joe, I found it. Works.
You can hear.
I gotcha.
Yo, I got 1 year.
Three minutes left, 2.5 minutes left.
Now I'm gonna do my warm up.
Who is on the warm up? One time. When you come down to warm up?
Oh, just with
And you working out the warm up.
me.
You got a minute to the camp?
Okay.
Fast. Starting right now.
Wait, you like what? University.
I'll see.
I put birth, death, and like my immigration.
But how do you
Yeah, I log into my. I have a YouTube account. I used to make videos on it. Yeah. Look.
Yeah, cap. Drinking chat. Exactly. He did not call second iPad. Hey, Maddie. Yeah. Let's see that.
Thanks.
So what did you get?
Sorry, me too?
Yo, could you comment? Can you comment on there? I don't know. It's probably because you're on squad.
You change your own current.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know.
See what you know what to do. Oh, I'm a big fan, dude.
Yo, chat. Yo, what's the answer to number 3?
What's the question? No, please sit down. So yeah, I have 13 responses, but I will say I'm Madeline, yours was the short and I was looking for. Noah, same thing. Which one? Noah Hendrick.
Do I have to do it again?
Oh, yours are a little shorter one.
What do you mean? I don't know what to read. Like,
I don't understand.
like, should I just add on to it?
No, you didn't even answer the question too.
You know, I did it. Yes, I did.
Come on, Mo.
Wait, thoughts on the board? Wait, what?
Yeah. You increase
I
on
did answer.
here.
What do you mean I did? Yo,
Ollie.
Yo.
Live from the out. Should we move? You go to live. I don't know what number 3 is. It's migrate.
Oh, that's in my water bottle for after.
Alright.
Oh.
Here real fast. First, question one. Okay, question one. What was it?
Think about the.
Hey, Grayson.
On live stream.
I got the.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You guys really having to wander around in the water fountain thing, and I think. We're answering question one. Let's go. Question one. What are the big 3?
Yo, chat. What's question 1?
Wait. Oh, use of resources, production of waste, and improving education.
Yeah.
What is that?
Is that AI?
I read the wrong thing.
Death and immigration. Why are those
So
three
the
things
ladies.
massively important?
Done deal.
What's that? What makes a population? According to my my tech, According to our kids, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, birth rate, death rate, and migration.
Yeah. My iPad. Look. I'm moving my iPad.
Word migration.
Alright, number two. What guy going up to two? Why are the parentheses so important? Yes.
PEMDAS,
PEMDAS. What does PEMDAS mean?
parentheses, exponents. Something.
Very good. It means that you follow the order of operation.
Yeah.
And parentheses the first one. If you don't do parentheses first, what happens in the question? It gets mixed up. What has to get the equation? Right?
Not right.
What edge do you get when you use order of operation?
The rate.
Okay, that's not what I was asking for. I asked you to solve it. What question did you get?
Oh, solve it?
One of you guys got it. What's the number you get when you answer that question?
1.
Huh?
1.
1. Very good. Okay. If you get it wrong, you don't you forget that. You get 19.
Talk to me.
You get 19. So that's what happens. And you do not get the accurate answer. All right. Very good. Number 3, according to your notes, the population growth can include live births and one other major factor that natural increase rate ignores. What is the factor and why might it be so important? Immigration. Specifically in the United States. Why is immigration in the United States so important? What do you think? Why? It's a large number that doesn't account for births and deaths. Right?
What's the part?
Number 3. Yeah. Immigration is superiorly important to countries that have a declining population due to the birth and death rate. Why? Because if you think about Japan, let me ask you a question. All the old people in the country outnumber the young people almost like 2 or 3 to 1. Okay? If that's the case, what do you think will be happening if you country will
Plummets.
decrease in population numbers?
Yeah.
So if they open their borders and they say, hey, we want to have more immigration, they allow more people into their country, and it fixes that problem and does not account for we're gonna have increase rates at all. That's why immigration is often forgot about, but it's a very important factor. So does, and this is my last question, does natural increase rate alone dictate if your country is growing or shrinking?
Yeah.
No. Okay, we'll talk today about something else that's very important. Okay, of the cycle of births and deaths in a population. It's gonna be talked about in this video right here, the potential. Right now, well, you guys go ahead, when you're done, you're warm up to fill in the speaker and the presentation. Okay, it's I give you one for first, okay? And the speaker is Hans Roslin. Okay, Hans Roslin is in the top box. Put your name, put the speaker, and put the title. The title is Population Growth, box by box. Population growth, box by box.
It's on.
Yeah, if you know,
Something.
actually think I can tell you about it. Good.
Who's on school iPad? You can't on a school iPad.
Alright,
Hey, Jason. Hey, Boogie.
so for the next minute or two, right now, after you're the speaker, I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to write down 3 things you know and 3 things you wonder about population growth. Okay, can I grade this part? Yes, now correctness with one completion. Okay, I grade you if you say I don't know really did. Yeah, I'll give you a 0 for that part. Okay, so give me 3 things that you wonder about population growth, and give me 3 things that you have. And don't feel like Mr. Gilbert, I don't know anything about population growth. We just talked about it. We talked about it in the notes, and I gave you a video and a reading last class period. Give me 3 things that you know about population growth in the top box right now. And give me 3 things that you wonder, meaning 3 questions, and you wonder about population growth. And don't go like, Mr. Gilbert, I don't wonder anything about population growth, because the amount of questions you guys ask me about random questions about China and random questions about some dumb TikTok. What? TikTok stuff. It tells me enough that you are interested in population growth. Think about these questions. Okay. What about local population growth? What about local world well, not local world growth, but local growth of the world population. You have plenty of questions, right? You're young adults. You're about to go into the housing market. You're about to go into land markets. You're about to go into resource markets, right? What questions do you wonder if overpopulation becomes a thing here, right? It's a very big reality. What questions do you have? I'm going to give you approximately about 3 minutes to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and get started on the video.
Wait, who's the speaker again?
Hans Rosling, right here at the top left corner.
Oh,
Hans Rosling. Okay.
What?
3 minutes. Make sure you have sentences. Come on. You're my honor kids. You should have more than my theory class.
Okay.
2 minutes. We are doing 2 minutes. Right down the go. Yeah. Yeah, no. You got no. You got me. Don't speak your name and do not forget to go ahead and put the title of the speaker. Was there not going to be?
Shut it off. I think it's not very good order.
Yes. Very fast. All right. How many are still working on it? I'll give you one more minute. Go ahead. Roman comes by name. What? You know, Roman comes by name. So,
What's he ducking?
you might be taking time up this year.
So you don't look this way.
Yeah, you might be scared.
Maybe it's bigger fish to fry. Either way, we're looking good. Yes. You don't need to come. So.
Or you could be lying about everything. Probably that's a good option.
I'm not bored. You probably know that.
We just done something.
Alright. Ready to move on?
President thinks.
Here we go. I mean, nothing's changing really, besides the fact that you guys aren't being too silly. That's it.
That's it.
So you gave me a right to.
Can I come tomorrow?
Because I wasn't live that day.
I can finish
I am pretty upset. I
because
didn't.
you told me now on Wednesday.
What?
Pretty upset at
Are
that.
you guys ready?
I didn't know.
Can I go tomorrow, Roger? Here, because he told me no on Wednesday.
Oh, I had to go.
Alright, we come too.
For what?
For the writing thing.
I me too.
I can do you guys first. Alright, here we go.
Only got 3 viewers.
I still remember the day.
So,
I
I started that just to go ahead and eat your attention. And what you'll be looking for during this video is you will be looking at 3 things. One is the pessimistic or is he optimistic about population growth? What does pessimistic mean? Anyone have?
It's like
Smart kids.
the worst.
Someone should
outcome.
That means that you're very negative about certain
Yeah,
things. You're not very good.
Negative
right?
Nancy.
What is optimistic mean?
Good outcome like the
You believe it'll be positive, right? Is it positive or is it negative about the population growth? Then you will be looking at the overall theme of the video, right? The reflection part. What is he talking about? What's going on? And how is this being affected, right? The next question will be evidence. Provide evidence for your question above this. Okay, last thing will be you will be making an essential question to ask, just like other students are about to watch the video now, and you guys, right? What questions have you asked to point them in the right direction before they watch it, right? What is the question that would tie it all together, right? About the video you're about to see. And now I have a little suggestion to give you is make sure you're focusing on what's happening to cause population growth. Okay, why are people growing? Why are these populations almost cycling, right? And why is population growth not happening in other places? All right, let's watch this together.
In school, when our teacher told us that the world population had become 3 billion people. And that was in 1960. And I'm going to talk now how world population has changed from that year and into the future. But I will not use digital technology as I've done during my first 5 TED talks. Instead, I have progressed. And I am today launching a brand new analog teaching technology that I picked up from IKEA. This box contains 1 billion people. And our teacher told us that the industrialized world, 1960, had 1 billion people.
Only current.
And the developing world, she said, they had 2 billion people. And they lived away then. There was a big gap between the 1 billion in the industrialized world and the 2 billion in the developing world. The industrialized world, people were healthy, educated, rich, and they had small families. And their aspiration was to buy a car. And in 1960, all Swedes were saving to try to buy a Volvo like this. This was the economic level at which Sweden was. But in contrast to this, the developing world, far away, the aspiration of the average family there was to have food for the day. And they were saving to be able to buy a pair of shoes. There was an enormous gap in the world when I grew up. And this gap between the West and the rest has created a mindset of the world which we still use linguistically when we talk about the West and the developing world. But the world has changed, and it's overdue to upgrade that mindset and that taxonomy of the world and to understand it. And that's what I'm going to show you. Because since 1960, what has happened in the world up to 2010 is that a staggering 4 billion people have been added to the world population. Just look how many. The world population has doubled since I went to school. And of course, there has been economic growth in the West. A lot of companies have happened to grow the economy, so the Western population moved over to here. And now their aspiration is not only to have a car, now they want to have a holiday on a very remote destination and they want to fly. So this is where they are today. And the most successful of the developing countries here, they have moved on, you know, and they have become emerging economies, we call them. And they are now buying cars. And what happened a month ago was that the Chinese company Geely, they acquired the Volvo company. And then finally the Swedes understood that something big had happened in the world. So there they are. And the tragedy is that the 2 billion over here that is struggling for food and shoes, they are still almost as poor as they were 50 years ago. The new thing is that we have the biggest pie of billions, the 3 billions here, which are also becoming emerging economies. Because they are quite healthy, relatively well educated, and they already also have 2 to 3 children per woman, as those have. And their aspiration now is, of course, to buy a bicycle. And then later on, they would like to have a motorbike also. But this is the world we have today. No longer any gap. But the distance from the poorest here, the very poorest, to the very richest over here, is wider than ever. But there is a continuous world from walking, biking, driving, flying. There are people on all levels, and most people tend to be somewhere in the middle. This is the new world we have today in 2010. And what will happen in the future? Well, I'm going to project into 2050. I was in Shanghai recently, and I listened to what's happening in China, and it's pretty sure that they will catch up. Just as Japan did. All the projections. This one will grow with 1 to 2 or 3%, and this grows with 7, 8, and then it goes. They will land up here. They will start flying. And these lower middle income countries, the emerging countries, they will also forge forwards economically. And if, but only if, we invest in the right green technology so that we can avoid severe climate change and energy can still be relatively cheap, then they will move all the way up here and they will start to.
So what he's talking about, is China. This video was made around 2010. So he was predicting that China, at this time period, they would start producing economically. They would start being becoming more advanced in technology. They would start jumping ahead in the next couple of years as it encroaches 2050. Okay, that was his prediction. Oh, it's been about 15 years since then, and I think his prediction is right. China has grown. China has become a tech leader. China has become balanced in their population. China has done the very exact things he was predicting in the past. Do you guys think that that's kind of like a determining factor that he might know he's talking about? What do you guys think? Do you think that he was right? Did China advance? Did China kind of get Japan? What do you guys think? Are they technologically advanced? Is their economy booming? How's their trade going? How's their population? Are you guys aware? Yes.
Wait, what is the question?
Do you think China has grown?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Because you've seen similarities of that in Japan. You're kind of closer to that. Right. Even the CEO of Ford drives the Chinese EV. Right. Their technology is advanced. Right. They're no longer in the age of the past, as people will say. Right, we're gonna keep going.
by electric car, isn't it? This is what we will find there. So what about the poorest 2 billion? What about the poorest 2 billion here? Will they move on? Well, here population comes in, because there we already have 2 to 3 children per woman. Family planning is widely used, and population growth is coming to an end. Here, population is growing. So these 2 billions will, in the next decades, increase to 3 billions, and they will thereafter increase to 4 billion. There is nothing but the nuclear war of a kind we've never seen that can stop this from happening, because we already have this in process. But if, and only if they get out of poverty, they get education, they get improved child survival, they can buy a bicycle and a cell phone and come here, then population growth will stop up there in 2050. We cannot have people on this level looking for food and shoes, because then we get continued population growth. And let me show you why, by converting back to the old time digital
Please,
technology.
pay attention to this.
Here I have on the screen my country bubbles. Every bubble is a country, the size is population. The colors show the continent. The yellow one there is the Americas, dark blue is Africa, brown is Europe, green is Middle East, and this light blue is South Asia, that's India, and this is China. Size is population. Here I have children per woman. 2 children, 4 children, 6 children, 8 children. Big families, small families. The year is 1960, and down here, child survival. The percentage of children surviving childhood up to starting school, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, and almost 100%, as we have to in the wealthiest and healthiest countries. Look, this is the world my teacher talked about in 1960. 1 billion Western world here, high child survival, small families, and all the rest, the rainbow of the developing countries.
We're following here. And the highlight this section, specifically in the top, what is that quadrant called by math people? There's a top quadrant called, I don't know, first two, 1 and 2, I don't know. We're looking, I am exhausted. The top part of the board, okay? We're gonna see that kids on this side per woman, 7, 8, 9 kids per woman, right? That's a lot, around 60%. Why do you think they're having so many kids? What do you think, Grayson?
Child labor.
Child labor, really? That's why? And not because almost half of them are dying every time that they have kids? That might be a thing, right? Now think about it. If you're a family, right, and you want to have 3 kids make it, and you're living in a country with 60% survivability rate, right? How many kids do you have to have if you want to have 3? On average. Here's what. How many? 6, right? Most of the time that works out, right? And we're not talking about kids being born right now. It's like, oh, they come out alive or dead. Nope. Guess we can just keep having more. That's not how it works. That's gruesome, right? That's crazy, Mr. Large. You think that way. Well, really, the reality is even worse. They come out, they're born, and by the time they reach adulthood, they're either dead or they're alive. Mr. Gilbert, that's terrible. Why are we talking this? This is the reality, right? So you live in America, right? You're over here. You're right there. You're above the 95 percentile, meaning you have a 97% survivability risk for you and your siblings to live past, into adulthood. Who has a sibling in here? Everybody raise your hand. Who has a sibling? Brother, sister? Right. I'm not going to do this thing and say, who's still alive? I'm not doing that, because the reality is the numbers will say, despite a terrible accident, right, or something that's not normal, your sibling should be alive. Okay, why am I saying that? Because that's what the numbers say. They live past childbirth and infancy stages. They're into adulthood. But there are accidents that happen, which is why it's not 100% yet, right? But I want you to notice. Actually, I'm going to ask you a question. If a society gets in the habit of having 7 kids and 3 of them make it, what happens in my honors class, my smart kids, when they start living long? And they still keep having 7 kids, and 7 kids, and 7 kids, and 7 kids. They call it traditional kids, which is fine. That might be a part of the culture that they've done before in the past because they often died off. But like, what's the problem with that?
Lower rates.
They start doubling and tripling in population because 3 kids aren't making that more. 5 kids are making it. 6 kids are making it, right? Maybe sometimes there's 7 kids that make it out of 7, right? So what you're telling me, Mr. Gilbert, is the problem is that they're surviving. You know what one kid said after I said that before? They went, "Oh, so we can just kill them, right?" And I was like, "No, whoa, calm down, Thanos. Okay, we can just snap half of our existence, into oblivion, right? Because that doesn't solve the problem. The problem isn't that they're surviving longer. The problem is that the cycle continues when they do, right? When you have 7 kids and 7 kids and 7 kids, you don't need 7 kids. That's when it starts growing like crazy. Okay? That's where there's a problem. But if you notice something, the video will play because when these countries reach above this that's confusing. This threshold, something happens. 90%. Remember that number. 90%. Someone say 90. 90%. Okay? And 90% survivability rate, something happens, and families start to go, you know what? I don't need 7 kids. A lot of kids. A lot of kids. They don't make it. That's great. I love them all, but there's too many of them, right? And they go, if I want to have 2 kids in America, like you guys think about it, 10 years down the road, not now, don't have kids now. Ew, no, stop. 10 years. If you're old like me, when you're 26, 27, right? You start thinking about having kids. Maybe I want 1, maybe 2, 3. Oh, God, no. Right? It's too many. How many would you guys want around that time? Think down the road. Who would want 2? Raise your hand. Probably want 2 kids. Who would want 2 kids? Who would want 1 kid? Raise your hand.
Minimum 15.
Who would want no kids?
I need at least 12 to make a football team. I need at least 12.
Because it's normal in today's society. It's normal. I don't want.
I need 7 for 7.
That's not a bad thing. That just means that we have progressed to a point where 90% of us go, hey, we're fine with being single, we're fine with having 1 kid. Because if we want 1 kid, how many kids do you have to have? Just right. 100. And that's the number. It's awesome. So watch what happens. Like 90%. Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
I've been streaming for 42 minutes.
Large families that will survive. What has happened? I start the world. Here we go. Can you see? As the year passed by, child survival is increasing. They get soap, hygiene, education, vaccination, penicillin, and then family planning. Family size is decreasing. They get up to 90% of child survival. Then family is decreasing. Also, the Arab countries in the Middle East is falling down there. Look, Bangladesh catching up with India. The whole emerging economy in the world joins the Western world with good child survival and small family size. But we still have the poorest billion. And you see the poorest billion, those boxes I had over here? They are still up here. And they still have a child survival of 70 to 80%, meaning that if you have 6 children born, there will be at least 400 or 500 generations. And the population will double in 1 generation. So the only way of really getting world population to stop is to continue to improve child survival to 90%. That's why investments happen.
Okay, to explain what's happening, I got my car fixed. They didn't fix it. They dropped the engine out of it, meaning they removed the engine. They didn't tell me about it. I kind of made that. I brought it home last night. There was a grinding noise. Made me mad. They picked it up this morning. I said, tow it. They fixed it. They just called me. They were like, drop it back off my house. And they needed my permission. There you go. It's been a crazy 24 hours. Sorry.
Did they check in with me?
I have a car, but that's why you have 3. You have 1 car for your daily, 1 car for fun or travel, and 1 car for your wife or your other partner to drive. If you get, you're good. Oh, don't worry about it. Video. I'll tell you later.
You're married? You're trying to take the shot, man. You're trying to take his shot. Yeah, I got that on video. I got that on video. Yeah. 5 seconds to fame, huh? Yeah, Mr. Gilbert, you married?
You can see the grease mark where his head hit when he fell down. Right there.
You actually. Oh.
Yeah.
You say, when are you ready, buddy?
What? What?
Yo, let me just send that into this sent me. Okay, focus. We might have a visitor. Let's get back to it. Now, what are you guys about?
Yeah, Mr. Gilbert, married?
You got married?
Did you see? Did you see? Did you see? Did you see?
What's
You
that?
married?
Mother-
I am married. Well, I wasn't married. Okay. Did you see that when the number reached above 90%?
We still have the poorest bill.
Look what happened. I told you that they would reach about 90%. Look. And once they did, the numbers dropped low. About 3G. Meaning that child survivability is the answer to the problem, which is the cycle. What is the problem of overpopulation? Cycle. The cycle of having so many kids when the country is doing better is the problem of overpopulation. The answer is not to kill people off. You can't just history people trying to fill up the population and expect it to just boom. You need to have an actual answer to survivability. Okay? It will solve itself over the long run. In the United States right now are actually a place where we are almost out. We'll talk more about that next last period. Okay? But you will see very quickly that survivability and the balancing of our vertical factors. Okay? Yes. When you first called it looked like Florida? I don't know, that's a great question, but maybe I'm the unpause it. Here you go.
Can you see the poorest billion? Those boxes I had over here? They are still up here. And they still have a child survival of 70 to 80%, meaning that if you have 6 children born, there will be at least 4 who survive to the next generation. And the population will double in one generation. So the only way of really getting world population to stop is to continue to improve child survival to 90%. That's why investments by Gates Foundation, UNICEF, and aid organizations, together with national government in the poorest countries are so good. Because they are actually helping us to reach a sustainable population size of the world. We can stop at 9 billion if we do the right things. Child survival is the new green. It's only by child surviving that we will stop population growth. And will it happen? Well, I'm not an optimist. Neither am I a pessimist. I'm a very serious possibilist. It's a new category where we take emotion apart and we just work analytically with the world. It can be done. We can have a much more just world with green technology and with investments to alleviate poverty and global governance. The world can become like this. And look at the position of the Old West. Remember when this blue box was all alone, leading the world, living its own life? This will not happen. The role of the Old West in the New World is to become the foundation of the modern world. Nothing more, nothing less. But it's a very important role. Do it well and get used to it. Thank you very much.
Okay, then I'm going to give you about approximately 3 minutes to answer the 3 questions of your question, your evidence, and your EQ. I'm going to go ahead and make sure you guys go ahead and use the time wisely because Mill cut his chair or stream is behind, and I'll make sure you have plenty of time.
It's not my fault.
How's it not?
I was clip on.
Okay, we don't have so much time. Come on. I want you guys to go ahead and answer the 3 questions. Evidence. Evidence, reflection, EQ. Your 3 minutes start now. series.
I'm caught on camera too.
Can you stop live streaming my class?
That's the oddly fish.
He caught the clip of
Whoa. Go back. Chat.
Crash the stream.
Yeah.